He's a special player, this one. We're going to start with number 18. That's Sam Walsh. Sam Walsh had his second year. He had a fantastic first year, and I guess you didn't know what to expect from year two. You often hear the theme of the second year blues, and you're never going to be as good as your first year, and there's a little bit more pressure. You're not so much of a novelty as a player anymore. But he started a little slowly last year in a new role, but he seemed to just pick it up and figure it out. Mate, what are you looking at for Sam Walsh this year, and you guys at home as well?
Yeah, I think when we caught up the other week, I told you that he was my tip to win the best and fairest whenever that gets announced. I think it'd be either him or Wiedering, and yeah, he's second half of the season last year was incredible. I love everything about him as a machine, and even the vision that's coming out at pre-season training at the moment of him. He looks like he's just going to go to another level, which is great to see. And I think in 2021, I reckon he can make All-Australian. I think if he had probably a complete season last season, he could have been pushing for it. So I think 2021, he's good enough. And with some extra star power around him now as well, I think he's going to just keep improving. And it's scary to think that, he's only in his third season. He's just going to be he is already an absolute jet. So it's scary to see what he's going to produce over the years.
Yeah. No, he's just got. He looks to have this look in his eye and this mentality that very few have. Only the super duper stars have, and that's that he's able to find something to do a little bit more at all times. He really wants it. I think, obviously, we just heard Patrick Cripps talk about how he was looking to shed some kilos last year because he wanted to cover some more ground. And when you think about it, it's probably because we didn't have runners like Sam Walsh or Zach Williams that we do now. I'm looking at Sam Walsh this year, and I'm thinking very much the same as you. I think he could have arguably been in the All-Australian squad conversation last year. I didn't think he was quite good enough to make the team, but maybe the squad. If we win 3 to 4 more games, there's no reason why he can't be in that conversation. And the fact that he's got that running power, he's got that burst, and he's now got Patrick Cripps, who's now focusing a little bit more on the inside contested ball use to get it out to guys like him. I think he's only going to show more of that running power.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say, now that Cripps is going more back to what we know Cripps is great at, and then you add Zach Williams into there, like, who are they going to match up on? Either Walsh, Williams, one of these players, they're going to be running loose, and if it's Walsh, look out. He's that's what I mean. It's going to be even better with him, with the star power around him. So yeah, All-Australian for me. I think that's my tip for him. I think that's what he needs to aim for. He's good enough to aim that high. So I think why not for him?
Well, Chris Judd won a Brownlow in his third season. Why can't Sam Walsh?
Exactly right. So I think he doesn't need it. He doesn't need to have a ceiling on his expectations. We've seen his first 2 seasons. Anything's possible with him. So I'm expecting another big year from Walshy.
Yeah, I think the other thing as well is and it's kind of been referred to very briefly, but we're going back to the way it used to be in terms of the quarters. And we know Sam Walsh is a running machine, is an endurance king, and it's players like him, like a Brad Hill, these long distance type, these gaff type guys who show up more so in red time. And I think that's the other part of the season for Sam Walsh that hasn't been spoken about too much. Do you feel the same, or am I just trying to look for a reason to get more excited for him?
No, I think the exact same. I mean, his tank is unbelievable. I think Andrew Russell came out a few weeks ago and just said how he's getting fitter and fitter. He's just an absolute machine. So, and then I think the other thing as well, if he can add some more goals to his game, which he did last season, that's just going to get him even more recognition if he already doesn't have it. So, I think, I'm with you. I think the sky's the limit with Walsh, and I'm very excited to see what he's going to do this season.
Yeah, no, it should be good. Let's have a look at some of the fans and what they have to say. Musaka says, "Don't forget that mark of the year." Absolutely. I mean, we talk about him as a running machine, but he also is a contested ball as well. Like, he's got it in him. That's the funny part. He's going to add more layers to the body, but he's already got a really clean, really strong layer of core strength. And we speak of Juddy. Juddy had it as well. Juddy wasn't a massive guy, but Juddy was a very strong guy through his core. So I don't know if Walsh is going to necessarily get massive and big, but he's always going to be stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're backing into packs with Charlie Dixon coming the other way, you're pretty strong and you're pretty tough. So yeah, absolutely, he's so strong. And I guess it just, is there anything that isn't wrong with, is there anything that is wrong with this guy? I mean, like, we just keep talking. There's just nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, well, let's touch on that. So we've all got this expectation now. It just is, and he's deserved it. He's earned it. He wants it. It looks like, he's put himself in that leadership group as well. Is there a reality where he has maybe not as good of a season, but he still averages something like 20 to 22 touches a game? And I feel like he's in a position where, if that was to happen, I feel like, the mainstream media anyway would look at that and Kane Corns is one, below par game from Sam Walsh away from really trying to rip in. So it's as much as I'm expecting him to improve and be in that All Australian squad conversation, I'm not going to be completely devastated if he's not, because we have to always remember he's in his third year.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the scary thing about it. He's only in his third year, and usually any other third year player, you wouldn't be having these expectations or all these conversations about him. So that just shows how special he is. And yeah, I mean, just with players like, just thinking about Cripps going back to his normal position and then having Walsh out there and just delivering, I just feel like he's just going to elevate his game. And then, I mean, I'm also with you as well in terms of, if he has one bad game, two bad games here and there, that the media are going to jump on him. But I mean, that's what happens with good players, and I think you just got to take that as a compliment, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Let's continue on with some of these comments. Mark says he'll be our next captain. He bleeds blue, but still let the young man continue his journey because there will be bumps. As rosy as he's been, let's just enjoy his ride. Love that from Mark. I think that's brilliant. Jared's gone the other way. Sam Walsh is going to make the All-Australian team this year. Love it. We've got Greg, who says, if you had to pick something, his left foot needs some work. I'm sure he'll be working on that for sure. Sam Di Benedetto says he's like a bottle of wine. It just gets better with age. So we got one more here. Tommy, serious note, the best possess an ability to make time. He isn't scared. He turns back into trouble to work it out and backs himself to get it out. 2023, he will be a head and shoulders our best player. I'm looking forward to seeing what Pommy has in store for us tonight on the pun front, because he has an unlimited bag and supply of puns at his disposal. So thanks for that, Pommy. So that's Sam Walsh, relatively positive and rightly so. He, if he's not the 2020 John Nichols medalist, then he's probably going to finish second or third at worst. So he's obviously come off a really good year, and we're hoping to see much more of the same from Sam Walsh in 2021.